So right now I'm just waiting for the party to set up. Alright, we should be good to go. Okay. So we're not going to do anything special today. We're just going to go through the game and do some quests. And I'll just let y'all enjoy the game. We are a two-handed wielder. I just like the two-handed weapons better. So let's look for a quest. This is our mini-map, or I guess our regular map. And then you can just zoom in and out. Alright. We'll go here to the harborage. The harborage is some mainline quest, so I guess there is some spoilers in this. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's sealed from the other side, so it can't get in there. I'm not sure why. I was trying to see if there's another entrance. I don't think so, though. Okay, we'll go to Ellison Tower. But first, before we do go, we need to go buy a blacksmith. My controller battery's low, so I may have to switch in a minute. But I'll wait until we get closer. Okay, so I'm going to sell a few things, and then, because when you make items, you have to have spaces for the items to go to, even when you're just breaking them down. So we'll talk to Guard Rogan.
You just want to gawk at that anvil, or you're gonna do something with it? If you're gonna linger, you may as well buy something.
Okay, so we're gonna look for these items. Not specifically like this steel maul, but it says ornate. This item sells to merchants for 280% more, so we're looking for items that sell more to the merchants first. Okay, so we're gonna sell these just because they're trash. You pick them up, and I use them to make a little extra money if I have the room. Okay, so a lot of our space in our inventory is taken up by materials and food, so we're gonna sell some of this food. this great sword of martial knowledge. I think it's martial knowledge. Um, it looks really nice, and it has a nice set combo, but let's see if we can research it first. Yeah. But I found a better weapon. So that's why we're gonna get rid of it. What we're doing here is we're researching the traits. For example, this one, sharpen, increases physical and spell penetration. If I research this, then I go up here to refine, or not refine, sorry, creation. I can create an axe, wit, but I have to research it first. And I've been working on the great swords because that's what I usually play with is great swords. Now, down on style is where you control what it looks like. So far we have Redguard, Nord, Argonian, Aldmer, Bosmer. And I think that's it right now. I had Barbarian, but I think I used it up on a different character I was playing in the beginning. Okay.
Any idea where the stranger came from? I'd like to buy that hero an ale.
So our inventory's still pretty high, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop by the bank, which is down here, and drop off all the items that, like the materials, because you can use them from your bank while you're doing blacksmith or anything like that.
Welcome to
So we already have all these blacksmith materials here, as well as clother and enchanting, and then here's all our materials. So when we deposit it, most of them are just going to stack. So now we're down to 44 out of 81 in our inventory. But what I'm going to do is I bought 10 more spaces in my bank vault so we can store a few extra things. But honestly, I think that's all I want to store. I'm going to get rid of the rest of the equipment. The reason I'm getting rid of all the stuff from my inventory is because I want to be able to pick up items in the dungeons and whatnot. Alright, we're down to 38. But each of these stations, see, has different things you can deconstruct because they're, like, for example, the station I'm at right now is only for light and medium armor, I think. And then the blacksmith is heavy armor and those weapons. And when you deconstruct things, you get materials back, as well as it levels up your skills in that gave us about 50 or so inventory slots. Okay. Yes, we have quite a few slots now. So now we'll be on our way to, it's not really a dungeon, but it is. It's not like an official one, it's kind of like just a side one. So I think it's in that destroyed tower in front of us. So I use poison attacks. I like to do damage over time. So we're going to delve into the tower. This long abandoned crumbling tower appears to be an old outwork of the Daggerfell defenses. So it'll probably have skeletons in it, reanimated, or maybe vampires. Okay, so it has Red Rook bandits. And I don't think there's a quest. You just have to get kind of towards the end. Even though I don't need them, I pick up any great swords that I find so I can break them down once I get back for leveling up the blacksmith. I don't use alchemy. I probably should, but I don't. So I'm not picking up any of the pristine waters. You use those to make your potions. I wish we could use that cooking fire. I'd show you the cooking aspect. Maybe this one will work. No. Alright, so let's take a look at the map. Okay. So this one is a kind of like a mini boss. You can tell by her name is different on the, or like the border for her name is different. I'll show you. use for someone higher level. But the higher level you are, the more skills you have to use. Okay, so that light right there is coming from a crystal. It's a sky shard. It gives us skill points after we find 3 of them. I think there's one in each dungeon and cave. I'm just calling this a dungeon even though it's not really. And I say that just because there are dungeons in the game, so. Okay, so we came from over here. We need to head down this way. We just need to find I think you have to kill all the bosses that are in the area. The attack I was using damages in an area, so that's why I was using that one over and over. Okay, so they're gonna see me, so I'm just gonna put my health thing down and bring them over here. This thing right here that I set down gives me 2% health back for all of the amount of damage that I deal, and then I deal an area damage. So I get 2% health back on the person that I'm attacking, and then when it deals damage to the other ones around him, I get 2% health back from that as well.
Circle around.
I'm not really worried about these guys, I'm just kind of going through it. After this, we'll try and get into a real dungeon, which is a little bit more difficult, depending on which one you get. Okay, so we have a little quest here. Let's see. B. Loot as much from Illison Tower as you can. We need resources to take to our new allies. We will control the manor north of Delian's Mill, Nolamoon Manor. By the time you're done, flank the Daggervale guards when you get here. T. I should find the guards near Noloom Tower. Red Rook resources. Okay. So that's a quest outside of this dungeon. Alright, so. Okay. Message of the day for flying V's has changed. It's a guild I'm in. I'm not really in it though. They invited me and I joined, but I don't do anything with them. Anytime any guild invites me, I just automatically accept. But I really don't see the point of a guild at this point, because you really can't do anything until you reach max level, and then you can go on trials and do arena and different things. Alright, so we're headed over to talk to the Daggerfell guards. I'm gonna get this waypoint real quick. It's right in front of us. It's so we can fast travel here or fast travel from here. There we go. We do have some other quests around here, but we're going to ignore them for now.
Traveler, there's trouble ahead. Bandits. You should turn back. We can't guarantee your safety.
I found this note under Ilson Tower.
Red Rook's under Illisan Tower? These bandits continue poking their noses where they don't belong. Thanks for letting us know. It provides context to this attack, and now we can watch for any reinforcements from the tower. Be careful out there. Red Rook bandits might be in.
Alright, so we're gonna join the queue for a dungeon. So, completing a random normal dungeon or random veteran dungeon will give you bonus rewards once per day. We'll get premium, undaunted exploration supplies, and 22,666 experience points. I joined a random normal one because you have to be level 50, champion level 10 to do the veteran dungeon, and I'm not anywhere close. And I also joined as a damage because I'm not a lot of the Dragon Knights are tanks, but I didn't set mine up to be that way. So here's the skill. It's normally called a skill tree, but the way it doesn't look like a tree. Normally it's kind of more tree-like. This being the trunk, and this would be the branches to your right. So I'm an ardent flame class. I do have points in draconic power and earthen heart, but I don't have any skills selected in them. They level up when I read books. So we have the standard might 3, which is the flag that I call down, and it deals damage in a circle. I use the venomous claw 3, which deals 1,793 poison damage, an additional 5,706 poison damage over 10.5 seconds, with damage increasing by 11% every 2 seconds. I also use a noxious breath to exhale a corrosive blast, dealing 877 poison damage to enemies in front of you, and an additional 3945 poison damage over 10 seconds. Also afflicts enemies with major fracture, reducing their physical resistance by 5280, which means my sword attacks will deal more damage. And then I use the fiery grip 3, launch a fiery chain to grasp and pull an enemy towards you, dealing 1818 flame damage. Also grants major is what I used to. I just call the names out because that's the level. It'll be reverse ice 3 once it goes up, and so on and so forth. Spin around and strike an enemy down, dealing 1793 physical damage. Deals up to 300% more damage to enemies with less than 50% health. Other enemies nearby take 64% of the damage inflicted to the primary target. And then Destruction Staff is at level 10. I've just found a lot of books on it. I've never used it. Same for light and medium armor. I always use heavy armor. So if I was going to tank, I would have this immovable. Intensify your physical presence to gain major resolve and major ward, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 5280 for 12 seconds. Also grants you immunity to knockback and disabling effects for 5 seconds. And then I would probably use this Draconic Power because it gives you spiked armor. Which just gives you more resistance. Different things like that. Okay, so fighter skills at 4, it's about to be at 5. I was trying to see if there's anything. Okay, so once that unlocks, it'll grant 3 extra ultimate when killing undead, Daedra, and werewolves. I don't think I'll probably get that though. Okay, so here's the Overflowing Altar 2. Conjure a fountain of blood to grant minor lifesteal to you and your allies, healing you for 2% of all damage done. Allies can also activate the Blood Feast synergy to heal themselves for 63% of their max health. I just realized that the one thing I don't like is this. Once you get here, like I selected which one I wanted, but then you have to join the queue after. Alright, so while we're waiting on that, we can go do another quest while we're waiting. So the maps are pretty big. You have all these maps. And then when you zoom in, you get these maps. And then you can also zoom in even further. See, I don't like that either. If the leader disbands the group, then you have to wait.
I'm a little
To
busy.
queue again.
Red Rook bandits are holding hostages at a house down the lane. I always have a plan. These Red Rooks make use of trained wolves to guard their camp. Increases their confidence, I suppose. It also makes them careless. That's where my plan comes in.
What are you
I
suggesting?
need someone who can get in quietly, grab some wolf's woe, and take it to the hostages. With that plant, the hostages can walk out without attracting the attention of the wolves. The hostages are locked in a house, so you also need to find a key. We can help once you get those nobles out. My guards are itching to hunt down those brigands. Just be careful. The wolf's woe grows all around here, so it should be easy to acquire. As for the key,
Alright. We have 15 minutes. So, we got in a group, but as soon as we got in the group, someone disbanded the group. Which makes us seem like we just kind of like quit before we even started. So they penalize you for someone else leaving. this one. But since we're having to wait so long, I think we should do a... Let's see. I have other quests that I've been waiting on. I like to skip around too as well. Okay, we're gonna go here. This is a harder area. If I were to do it here, it would just be kind of slow and we're just kind of... It would be like we're just kind of walking through, killing things. Whereas this, we kind of have to... There's a little more fight to it, I guess. Now there is DLC that I don't have. It unlocks several areas, as well as you get different, you get like an extra 10% experience points and different things like that. So the quest is to gather the Seeker's Slight Gems. We already have one.
This won't do. This just won't do. You've been working with the Stargazers. That means you know what you're doing. Good. See that large... Some sort of celestial object. A few of the locals call it the Mage's Staff. They say it fell from above just before the constellations vanished. It's extremely volatile, and every magic-addicted sorcerer and Atronach in the region is drawn to it. We need to find a way inside, to the core. But getting in will require an unprecedented amount of magical energy. When the staff hit, pieces broke off into elemental shards. Take these focusing crystals. Each one can absorb one type of elemental infusion from a shard. Bring one infusion of each type to me, and I'll combine them to open a portal into the staff.
I will gather the element infusions from the shards.
Be warned, though. The spell fiends are drawn to the elemental shards. You will be unable to harvest an elemental infusion from a shard until the spell fiends are defeated.
I understand. I will clear the shards of spell fiends.
After the fiends are dead, you will only have a brief window in which to harvest the elemental infusion.
She didn't finish talking. Oh, and each person can carry one infusion, so you'll need to decide among your allies who will carry the flame, ice, and storm.
Quickly, if the staff explodes...
So, I think that's a group quest that we can't really do. Because she says one person has to carry each element. Let's see if we can ride past these guys and not get hit. Most of these guys I can kill, they're easy, but like the Storm Atronach, like that guy, he has a special border on the side. He's like a little mini boss, and there's a lot of them. But they're definitely a lot harder to kill. If it's just them, then I have a chance, but if it's all the other ones too, then no, I don't. Wonder if I can get this. No. looks like an interesting cave, a little tunnel over there. We have to go this way though. You can pretty much avoid any trouble if you're on your horse. Even if you pull somebody, it'll you can still get away from him. Alright, so I gotta kill these crocodiles. They have a good defense, but they're not that difficult. Okay, so this is the last gem. You recovered the gems needed to restore the Seeker's Sight. Meet the Mage's Aspect at the winery. So you can see it keeps popping up, leaving group area, joining group area, entering group area. It's because you're supposed to do this in a group. I don't think there's really many people online right now though. I shouldn't have done that. I just wanted to see what it did. But it's gonna kill me. It only comes up at certain times, and I used it because I died. Alright, so they're probably upstairs. Because it's an arrow and not
The scaled one grows stronger.
like a door.
Another part of us has been lost. The snake eats and never grows full. His hunger is endless. Our time grows short. But the mortal has returned with the Seeker's Sight. Then converse with our helper. If the serpent continues to feast, no power will be able to stand against him. You have restored the gems to the Seeker's Sight. Good. But we are running out of time. The Scaled One has found another of our aspects. We felt her turn. He is creating a corrupted version of ourselves. And this lost one grows ever stronger.
What else do you need me to do?
We cannot use the Seeker's Sight to find the other aspects. Not until the gems are recharged with magicka. Until that is accomplished, the relic is useless.
Alright, well how do I recharge the gems then?
Without the mage to control the ebb and flow, magicka seeps through cracks all across Craglin. Look for places where the magicka is so dense, you can see it and charge the gems there. Meet us at the Stargazer's observatory when you have finished.
Hara has finally agreed to see us, and we will meet with her soon. Do not delay. The enemy grows strong, and the time is not on our side.
Alright, let's see if there's a fire downstairs that we can cook. I'm trying to level up my cooking as well, because you can make meals that grant you extra health and stamina and magicka. So this should be a cooking fire here. Yeah. Closed until further notice. I regret to inform you that Oxnar's winery is closed until I can find a new clerk to replace that good-for-nothing nephew of mine, that lazy worker. Please don't take advantage of the momentary absence of a trustworthy employee to rob my winery blind. In the meantime, if you need something, feel free to find me at the Crossroad Tavern in Belcarth, and if you need a job, I'm sure we can work something out. So, he doesn't want us to rob the place, but we kinda are. Alright. I mean, I'm not stealing his stuff. This stuff's just gonna go bad if he leaves it here. Okay, so I'm trying to level up so I can get this raw veal meat. You have to have a recipe improvement 2 and a recipe quality 2. Let's check our skills. So, recipe improvement has to be rank 20, and recipe quality has to be rank 10 before we can do that. Right now we have chef activated, which creates 1 extra serving for each food recipe made. And this adds 5 minutes of duration. But I don't want to get that. Because if you're making double portions, you can just reheat, whatever you already made. Okay, so let's get to cooking. We have strawberry tonic, mead matey infusion, which is for stamina. I'll use sweet berry, not strawberry. We have jasmine tea for magicka. Not sure why my controller started vibrating. Maybe we got a bonus. We're just steaming some radishes. I wish I could stack all the food and just be like a random feast. Alright, so we made all that. eat one of these roast pigs for now. And one of these radishes. That'll increase our stamina and our health. So we might have a chance of defeating these guardians by ourselves. First, let's find out what the guardians are. Because if they're just the frost acronauts and the storm acronaut, I don't know how to say it, I think it's acronaut, something like that, astronaut. Then we can do it by ourselves. I just have to charge up my special. Let's see how far they are. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to beat them because they are part of their world bosses. But we'll see. Yeah. So even if this was up and active, we wouldn't be able to do anything. Let's check. I don't know why they keep changing the message to the same thing. Alright. Let's see, it should be long enough. Yeah. So we joined the queue again. We'll see if we can get in a dungeon. It's important to find all these fast travel points, just because it takes forever to ride all the way over there or run all the way over. Let's go take a look at that tower. If I joined as a tank in the dungeon, then it would be a lot faster, but I don't think that I would be able to tank very well. Okay, so this is a dungeon by itself. It's a group dungeon. That guy's level 50 with 561 champion levels, I guess that's what it's called. I haven't made it up that high, so I'm not sure exactly how it works. But I know you start at 10, and then you work your way all the way up there. And you can't start until you're level 50. So this is a trial. You discovered a trial. It is best to adventure in these areas with a large group. Trials are private, so only other group members can enter with you. And they say that because in group dungeons, it's just, you'll have like 10 people enter the dungeon at different times, and none of you know each other, but you can all fight together, just because, you can interact with anybody in there. was kind of sick as well, so I didn't have the energy or aptitude to do it. So I picked the two-handed swords just because I think they look awesome. There's a lot of cool swords, and not only great swords. There's a lot of cool,
Everything.
like daggers and dual wielding swords. I normally play with bows.
Can't believe it. So many dead.
I normally play with bows, but I just don't like the way they look in this game. So we're in the Spindle Clutch 1 dungeon.
Wait, who's that? You're not from the Covenant. What are you doing here? It makes no difference. We need all the help we can get. We made it. My fighters are exhausted, but if you push into the caves and clear out the spiders, we'll use fire to destroy their eggs. If Guardian Sudharim is still alive, we need to find him. Just don't listen to the whispers. They'll drive you mad.
Alright, so we have some higher levels up here with us. So this should be a pretty easy dungeon. So basically this one's about stopping this spider queen lady. So we have 2 DPS, a tank, and a healer. I'm pretty sure though that they are a little bit higher level.
This way, squad.
No, I know for a fact they are. I don't know what the other. I'm trying to find. Okay, so he's only level 11. But I think he's DPS. So we got a new helmet. Let's see if it's better than what we have on. No, not really.
He's pounding. I wonder if we'll ever see the commander.
We'll get through this. Like the Whisperer is getting tighter.
I think it's better on health, but we don't have. We lose the skills from our weapon, and like we have that set bonus. Alright, so we're gonna grab the healer if we can. Says he's too high or too low. Oh, I bet it. Is it? I was thinking level, but I think it means height-wise. been a better time to be undaunted. Maj al-Raghav, undaunted and four-time Rothmouth drinking champion at the Outside Inn. So we got 5 Grand Soul Gems, a gold scale, an ingredient for crafting in the Akaviri style, and the necklace of agility. So let's go to our inventory. Okay, so these ones are better just by a little bit, but they are better. We're not going to change those. Okay, so these Gauntlets of the Nightmare, I don't know when we pick those up. They're a lot better. We lose the maximum stamina though. That's okay. Well, okay. So it shows the weapon critical goes up, but it actually doesn't. That's odd. Okay, so we have 3 out of 5 for the Word Street Blessing, which gives us 115 spell damage. Or we could have the 1777 physical resistance. Our health goes up a little bit, our spell damage goes down quite a bit. Spell resistance goes down quite a bit, but physical resistance goes up quite a bit, so I don't know how I feel about it. And they look the same physically, or what is it? I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Oh yeah, and then I forgot the necklace. Okay, so we would lose the 115 spell damage, but we'd gain a little bit of health. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. And we're still leveling up the Ardent Flame. Let's see, we did unlock Searing Heat. Increases the damage of Fiery Breath, Searing Strike, and Dragon Knight standard abilities by 3%, and the duration by 2 seconds. Okay, so we gain the damage of 3% on Fiery Breath, Searing Strike, and Dragon Knight standard abilities. I think Fiery Breath is now Noxious Breath. I don't know if it still gives us the bonus. Slam an enemy with a solid rock, dealing 20-90 magic damage and stunning them for 3 seconds. If the enemy is knocked down, Stone Fist deals 20-90 magic damage. More damage to them. Let's see. Draw on your Draconic Blood to heal for 30% of your missing health. And these are more of staying alive. This will increase our physical and spell resistance, doubling it effectively. I think we'll take a point in that. This increases max health by 1% per piece of heavy armor, so that's 7%. 36. So that's a good jump. We still have 2 points left. We went up in the Fighters Guild. Weapon damage by 1%, but we don't have any slotted, so that doesn't do anything. Undaunted, we still haven't gotten up there yet. These are for later. Blacksmithing's still at 10. Alright, so I think that's all we're gonna put points in right now.
I can't believe it. So many dead. See for yourself. Ever since the head mage of Elenhir, Yamanako, sealed herself in the Apex Tower, the Blackcaster mages have run wild in the streets. They're killing everyone, even each other.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Some kind of spell. So many people from
I don't think we'll be able to do this one because it is a group dungeon. But we can see some of these are easier than others.
This one sees a little worm. Come, little worm, we will feast on you.
Alright, so looks like we'll have to take them 2 at a time. No, they all go. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to escape either. Okay, there we go. One left. Okay. Yeah, we can't do that without a group. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna stop there. We did get to do the dungeon, and we did, I think we did at least one quest. So I'm gonna take a break there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to let me know if you like it better in third person or first person. I can play either way. I like the way this makes it seem like it's you rather than watching someone else do it. So it's up to y'all though. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.